Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 24 Chambers of Film channel. I'm Steven. This is Nathan, as always. And today we're going to be doing a face off where we both pick two movies, we put them against each other, and we try to, you know, figure out which one's better. And Nathan's movie is Inception, and mine is The Matrix. Both sci-fi films, both classics at this point. And we're gonna talk about it and make our cases to see which one is the better film. And yeah, so Nate, I don't know if who wants to go first. You can go first. I don't care. You're gonna lose anyways. So
So, just to set the tone for this, The Matrix
uh-huh.
is a very good movie. It's a key movie. It was groundbreaking when it came out visually, the effects, the fight scenes, all that stuff. So, I understand that The Matrix is a very,
Hold
very
up, hold up. A very good film. Like, what are you? Why are you underselling it, dude?
it's
It's
a
a
very
great
good
film.
film. It's a
No,
very,
it's not a
very good
very
film.
good film. It's a great film. Everybody, don't this guy.
The
What is he
story
talking about?
part of it
Yeah,
is where
come
it
on.
starts to lose, and that's why I think Inception is the better movie, because Inception
We're talking about Matrix, not Matrix 2 and 3. We're talking about the Matrix.
so Inception has a great story that
Mhm.
is fully cohesive and has great effects and just is something I think you can connect more in the sense that you don't have to really there's a lot of stuff in the Matrix to me that doesn't tie in at times, and you can tell they were kind of just making stuff up at times when it came to that movie. Whereas a lot of the Inception, of course, they're both science fiction movies, so there's stuff in there that you're like, okay, that's just completely
Uh-huh.
unrealistic. But Inception, the way it ties everything together, it just makes a better movie that doesn't leave so much explaining like The Matrix does. The Matrix was great because the concept of The Matrix is good. Don't get me wrong. It is great. You're like, makes you think, oh shit, what if we're all living in a simulation and we don't even realize it, right?
Mhm.
But and the fight scenes are great as well. But the story, I feel like I just poke holes into the story compared to Inception, where the story's a lot tighter. I like the story personally better in Inception. I like the twist that it has at the end when it comes to Leo, and you realize that he's the reason his wife, killed herself. And
Mhm.
I think overall it's just a more tightly made film. And it could be because, they benefited from the Matrix special effects that they saw done there, that they knew what could be done in Inception as far as that kind of stuff. I mean, you think about it, they're not as identical as one thinks because yeah, they have the crazy like bending, reality and all that stuff, or what quote unquote, it's not reality, right? What but they have the crazy fight scenes where you're bending what people think is reality. But the stories are very different. One's about dreams and one's about being in a simulation. So they're not essentially the same because the purpose of going into the dreams is simply to steal
Well,
information. It's
what does Morpheus say? You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
Yeah, but in this one they really are in a dream, whereas
I
the
know, but I'm
Matrix
just saying there's a
is a computer
similarity. There's
system. The Matrix
Yeah,
is a
which is a
computer
great,
system.
yeah. It's a
But this
fantasy
is
world.
actually the point of this one is they're going into people's actual dreams and creating
Yes.
their dreams for them. So I think that
Uh-huh.
story works a lot better. I think the Matrix just it's a good movie.
So
It's a great
basically, so basically, like in Inception, like Leo and all them, they're creating the dreams,
yeah, they're
and
creating
then
the
like in
dreams
the
and
Matrix, it's the Sentinels that are creating the dreams for. Yeah, so it's the same
no,
story,
it's not
basically.
though. No, it's a computer system though
What I'm
that
saying, they basically are doing the same thing.
they're feeding into
Yeah.
their head where
Uh-huh.
they're
Aren't
going
they feeding that
into
into Cillian Murphy's head? They're building this dream fake
yeah, but
world,
it's a
trying to trick
complete
him to what's reality. Or
but they are in the real world. There is a real world where in the Matrix it's
there is
not.
a real world in the Matrix.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that in the Matrix, what they're doing is not
Uh-huh.
the same. You can't compare it to what they're doing in Inception.
Yes, yes. There's differences, but I feel like there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of influence
I
in the
actually,
Matrix and
I, I,
Inception.
I definitely think so, but I think people tie them together a lot more than what they should actually be tied together because visually how they play out, and then it talks about it's about going into someone's head and basically altering what they perceive as reality or what they think reality is, right? So
Yeah.
that is where I think the comparisons lie a lot, but they are really two kind of separate movies in the sense of One has to do with people being like humanity as a whole being stuck in a simulation, right? And the
Mhm.
other one has to do with world working as we know, and these guys are technically criminals
Yeah,
who go in there to hijack people's dreams to do whatever crime information they're trying to steal.
yeah.
So for
Inception's
me,
basically a heist film, but yeah.
and for me, Inception has a tighter story that is easier to follow, is more cohesive. Where the Matrix, they are working with almost. I look at it this way: the Matrix is set so far into the future, and it has to do with the robots now ruling the world that it you have free reign to kind of make up whatever you want, right? Because it's nothing close to being realistic. Whereas Inception, it, it's based closer in realism, so you don't have this free reign to just make up a bunch of shit that you want to make up because essentially it's set in the world we live in now. And these guys are then finding ways to get into your head and take information from your head, which again, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, not saying that's happening or anything, but that seems like something that could potentially, right, down the line, you never know, right, end up
Hmm.
happening with the way data is collected now and things like that. So I just think they're working with tighter a tighter like restraints than the Matrix had to work with, and I think the story works better for them. They make it more cohesive. Where the Matrix gives you a lot, you have a lot of questions when you watch the Matrix because they are making everything up from scratch, and I feel they have the ability to then sometimes just give you bullshit answers that they don't really have to give you backstory to on how it works. Or you just kind of like, okay, I'm accepting that, and you move on. And I think the Matrix was just so revolutionary at the time that the story caught a little bit of a break because of the visual effects and how amazing those fight scenes were when it came out.
Okay, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about. What flaws in the story of the Matrix or anything like that? You're gonna have to enlighten me on that element.
Okay, so
But
do you want me to do that
okay,
now or should I wait?
go ahead. It's well, you want me to
Oh,
give my
go. You
little
know what?
statement
You
first?
know
Yeah,
what? You go first, and then we'll start with that
and
part.
then I'll shut you down after.
Okay,
But
go for
okay,
it.
look. First off, I like Inception a lot. It's I remember watching it in the theater when it came out. I was super hyped for it. So it's a film that I adore. It's one of my favorite Christopher Nolan films. He's a filmmaker of mine, a filmmaker that I really um, dig. He's one of my favorites. You know, he's up. He's in my top 10, I'd say. Um, maybe top 15. I don't know, but he's up there. Anyways, Inception. Yeah, it's a great story. It's like I said, this is close. This was tough for me to pick Matrix, but I think Matrix is just more. It's just a more profound film, and it's something that is still very relevant today. Like the whole concept of simulation. It's actually a lot of people believe that we're literally in a simulation. That is not a. I'm not making that shit up. You go look on TikTok or any fucking social media, you see there's plenty of people that conspiracy theorists is a mainstream thing now, and a lot of people really believe that we are living in a simulation. It's not that far out there. The idea, just as much as the Inception dreams being able to go in your head there. It's not like too crazy of an idea anymore. Back then in 1999, that was way more of a mind blowing concept. But nowadays, it's a very common concept that people are seriously considering as a potentially a real possibility. Not saying I believe that, but it's who knows, Anyways, besides you already kind of said, yeah, Matrix is revolutionary. It's a film that created these new techniques with special effects, with the fighting and all that stuff. That's another thing. The action in Matrix is 10 times better than the action in Inception. Um, Even though I do like moments in Inception, but it's far and few between the action style. The Wachowskis just do a better job at directing action and implementing the martial arts kung fu element into it. It just gives it that extra cherry on top for me. Also, just I remember watching that movie in the theater, so it has a very strong nostalgic feeling, but that's not the main reason. But that in general is another reason. Watching that movie for the first time in 1999, I was pretty young, and I remember watching it in the theater and just being like mind blown of like 1989 was a great year for movies. Holy shit! But yeah, The Matrix was one of those movies that kind of just expanded my mind. And also just even though the storyline is basically like the second coming of Christ, with Neo and all that stuff, they do it and they spin it in a very interesting way without it feeling like religious or anything like that. I just love the aesthetic of the film. The visuals are just hypnotic. They're just very um, they're just unique. It's just something you didn't see, and it kind of paves the way for all these future sci-fi movies that basically ripped it off with the style and the aesthetic. Um, as Keanu Reeves, I'm a big Keanu Reeves fan, and to me, he was perfect to play Neo, and he does a great job. And also, the actors did basically most of their stunts, almost all of their stunts. Yeah, they had probably a few stunt doubles and stuff like that, but the action sequences are so good because they're in there and they're really putting in the work. They did months of training. Lawrence Fishburne, not Fisher, Carrie Ann Moss. She's great. Like, she was new to me. Agent Smith, Hugo Weaving. Like, it's just such a good concept, and it's packaged in such an entertaining, digestible way, which because it's a very high concept. The whole idea that the world that you're living in is not reality, and machines have taken over, and we're basically batteries to them, and they're just feeding us this bullshit, this bullshit world, this fantasy world. But yeah, I just feel like it's just the only thing that Inception has on Matrix, in my opinion, because it's great. Inception's great, is that it doesn't have a sequel or a trilogy. That's the only thing that I can give you Inception the edge, is that it's a single movie that doesn't have a sequel. Matrix should have never done sequels. This movie would be it wouldn't even be a debate if the Matrix stayed as a singular film and didn't add the now 3 sequels after, with 2, 3, and 4. If it would have just stuck with just Matrix, it would have been near impossible for any movie to top it, in my opinion, in sci-fi, action, noir type film. But having said that, Inception's great. But I just think the Wachowskis just do an amazing job directing that film, especially for their second feature film. If that's their second movie and they deliver a fucking banger like that, it's immensely impressive, in my opinion.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Matrix,
Mm-hmm.
everything that happens,
Mm-hmm.
everything that they do, where they basically Agent Smith fights Neo,
Yeah.
they go to the Oracle, all that kind of stuff. It happens within the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Why is it that Neo's strengths are within the Matrix and he's supposed to be not in the real world?
What are you saying? Like, why is this strength? Well,
The
the whole
whole
idea is
movie's
that
based around finding
the
the
whole
one, right? It's
yeah.
finding the one, but the one is living within a non-real environment, and that's where he's saving them. But the whole battle is supposed to be for the real world outside of the Matrix.
Okay. Well, first of all, okay. Well, were you saying why is Neo in the Matrix in the
No,
first place? Is that what you're asking?
why is everything that has to do with them beating the robots in the real world take place in the Matrix? Wouldn't they have to beat them in the real world for it to actually affect something?
Well, if you watch sequels, that's
no. We're talking about
the whole concept is that they're trying to do it from the inside out. They're trying to break it down from the inside, not from the outside, because that will be the easier way to do it. Him being able to use his abilities in the Matrix, his superhuman abilities in the Matrix, to bring down the Matrix from the inside. You're gonna go, what's the line in The Faculty? Would you rather do it Independence Day style, or do it through the back door, or sneak through the back door? So that them doing it, him being the one in the Matrix, that's why it's happening in the Matrix, because that's going to be the easiest way for them to bring down the Sentinels and the machines.
So, and the point of this is because, again, to me, where the Matrix falls short on Inception is the story. Okay,
I don't get that. Like, what's wrong with the story of the Matrix?
Because the more I watch it, the more I'm like, dude, they were just kind of just putting up whatever they wanted there because there was nobody to say, wait, explain this, and they could get away with just a bunch of stuff. So, for example, They
Yeah,
knew who
I'm not.
Neo. They knew who Neo was since the beginning. They had him in his crosshairs, right? They had him in the crosshairs already because the
Well, the
agent showed.
movie starts. The movie starts with them finding like they had just recently found him.
Okay, yes,
Yes, we
but
don't go further back
okay,
when.
but hold on. So stop. So, so
Well, I'm
Neo,
saying. All right, go.
so
Maybe
Neo, they know who Neo is. Why don't they just go pull him out of his chamber and kill him?
who the
The
agents?
machines. The machines. The agents have to be feeding back to the machines, obviously. They're a protocol of the machines, so they know who Neo is. So you're
Well,
telling me that
the
this
agents are
advanced,
bound. The agents are bound by the Matrix. They're not like they can't just do anything. They're
but
bound by
they
the
have to
Matrix.
report back to someone, right? Like who controls the Matrix. They're not just randomly in the Matrix and fucking running rogue and not
Well,
reporting
yeah.
back to someone.
Well, Agent Smith ends up going rogue, but yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
but I'm
well,
saying,
no, in
but
the first Matrix. I don't even say the second Matrix, but in the first Matrix.
yeah,
But
but it's
yes,
official after because of everything there. But I'm saying like when they're out in the very beginning, they go to his office, right? Like they're there
no,
and
they don't know how valuable Neo is yet. They don't know. There's even a line in the movie that Morpheus says they're
yes,
gonna
I
catch
know when
on.
he
Yeah,
calls him, he goes,
yeah. They don't know
yeah,
who
the
you
reason you're
are
still
exactly.
alive, yeah,
Yes.
is
Yeah.
because they don't know who you are. But what I'm saying is, even then, you would think that something like a system like what do they call them? The Sentinels or what are they?
That the
The
Sentinels. Yeah, the
yeah,
machines. Yeah.
you would think that the machines that are supposed to be so advanced that took over the world would be able to pick up the fact that okay, they want this guy, let's just go cap this guy while he's still in his little bubble, right? And game over there. Boom, he's not they're not going to be able to use him.
Well, here's the thing: the Sentinels aren't aware that Neo is part of a prophecy. That's the whole point of the Matrix.
But they're aware that he's important enough for Morpheus, who is the most wanted person, right?
They're not. What do you want
By
them to?
them.
What do you want them to do? They create this. They don't. They could go send assassins out once they find out, which they end up doing with the agents and all that stuff. Which is their
Well, what I'm saying is they're doing that in the Matrix. Why not just take care of it in the real world? Because Neo needs to come from the Matrix to the real world.
because he gets unplugged.
He gets some okay, he gets unplugged, right? He wakes up.
Yeah,
As
he
soon as
wakes
he
up.
wakes up, why would they not just kill anybody who wakes up from the Matrix? Because they know there's a
They
band of
they do kill. They send him. They
they
throw him in the
flush
pit
him
of
down
water.
the
Yeah,
toilet,
and
but
they're
they
gonna
flush him down the
drown.
toilet.
They're gonna
Do they?
drown because he doesn't. They don't know how. Those people. He doesn't know how to swim. His real self does not know how to swim. He's
But
gonna
think about
drown.
it. You're telling me these machines that have taken over the world, who are supposed to be
Okay, now
geniuses,
you're now.
don't realize what's potentially going to happen? Like it
First of
just
all,
that
here's the thing: they don't know there's a prophecy of a second coming of Christ.
forget
Okay,
the
so
prophecy.
to
Forget the
them,
prophecy.
no, but listen, that's a perfectly great way to kill people. You fucking flush them down the toilet; they're gonna drown because they don't know how to swim. It's
Okay, let me
over.
ask you this
Like
then.
I don't know
Let
what
me
you
ask
want them to do. To
let
fucking
me
just
ask you
blast
this.
him in the head.
How have
There's no
how have
movie if you do
Morpheus
that.
how have Morpheus and the rest of the people who live in Zion
Mhm.
have been able to survive and they know they exist, right? They know they're the enemy. They have to be what? Where do you think these people continue to get a army that's growing?
What do you mean they get it from people that are unplugged or people that were naturally born?
Okay, so wouldn't they think? Wouldn't the machines be like, well, shit? When someone's unplugged, we better make sure they're fucking done for good, or they're gonna join this movement that's fighting against us.
Well, clearly not everybody joins the movement. There is look there's a lot of humans who have survived that aren't plugged in, and there's been some that actually have been able to
They
get
are
brought to
well
life.
aware of a guy like Morpheus. They know he's public enemy number one, essentially.
I don't think they necessarily know Morpheus unless like I don't know like that's yes there's things that you can
Agent Smith says it, right? This man Morpheus, when he first talks to Neo, that they arrest him.
yeah you're talking about within the Matrix, but outside of the Matrix.
Again, Agent Smith has to be the agents have to be reporting back to somebody outside the Matrix.
I think they're just functioning as like a fucking virus. They get put in there to do their thing. They don't really question commands or go, they just do what they need to do. They're kind of told what they're supposed to be told and they do it. They're not like going back reporting to like some fucking station or
Okay,
nothing like that.
so that just doesn't make any sense to me. So then, remember when they put the bug in him, right?
Yeah.
Then they pull it out. So you're telling me that this tracking system automatic all of a sudden stops moving, goes offline, and then no one's like, something's going on here? Like that they
Well, yeah, it goes offline. They can't remember. They only know them by the phones and stuff like that. The connection.
But what I'm saying is, wouldn't they know Neo? Let's go find Neo in his little pod and then just fucking kill him, because we know that now they have to assume that something's happening. And
also, here's another thing you're not taking into account. You assume that Morpheus is the only ship that's unplugging people. That you think they're only going after, like, they're the only people doing this. I'm sure.
No, but it's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be this huge, system that's supposed to be, again, overthrew humanity and everything like that.
What do we know about systems, computers? They have glitches. Okay, they clearly they've figured out a way to manipulate the system as well, because they go into the system. There's ways. Yes, we can't go into all the details because you can't make a movie like that. Okay. You can't go into every single. Some things you have to kind of create for yourself, but for the most part, they give you a strong infrastructure of the world.
Okay. Well, Inception, right? Mm-hmm. If you're gonna the going into the dreams, obviously they're not explaining how that box works, right?
Exactly.
They're not gonna give you all the science.
That's
obviously,
that's the same thing.
Think about what. No, but think about it. No, because think about it.
Why is it not?
It's as small as them plugging into someone's dream.
How does that work? How does that fucking? You gotta just suspend your disbelief and go with it.
No, but think about it. If you start talking to people, let's just say you probably had happen to you before, where you're talking about shit and then you end up dreaming about it later on. Okay. It happens to everybody. So someone figuring out a way to hijack a dream, right?
I have no issues with Inception, the way they do the dreams and all that stuff. They do it really well.
It doesn't bring up questions like the Matrix can be questioned. So to me, if you're looking at it, the story is really the defining factor on what makes a better movie, and between these two, because I think visually everything else is great, and the story's better on Inception. And Inception,
I wouldn't say it's necessarily better. I wouldn't say it's better.
And Inception comes in.
Inception and with Rage Against the Machine, I don't think so, bro. That's one thing. It's a big, that's a big W for the Matrix right there.
That has nothing to do with it, dude.
It has everything to do with it. The style is part of the substance. So you're saying a
band is going to make the movie?
It can't.
That's ridiculous.
It adds to
ridiculous.
It adds
if
to
a band, I'll tell you right now, if a band makes the movie, the movie makers have failed.
First of all,
you're using it as an argument right now. So if you're going to use it as an argument,
it's part of the argument. I didn't say it's the whole argument.
But you're saying you just said it has Rage Against the Machine. That's the W.
That is a W. That's part of the W.
No, you said that's the W. Now it's part of the W. Okay. Before that, it was the W.
Okay, sorry. I guess sarcasm goes over your head. So that's part of the W, okay? Aesthetically, that's part of the aesthetics. The music, choices, all that stuff is better. Inception has really good music, don't get me wrong, but it's better in The Matrix.
The Matrix needs everything else to work, to help it become this thing. It's, again, 4 or 5 different things that work together, where Inception's story alone is just strong enough, and it has the other stuff, but it doesn't overshadow the story. For example, in The Matrix, the fight scenes overshadow the actual story, right? The fucking lean back and all that shit. Like
that doesn't overshadow the story. That just maybe when I was a kid in 1999, that kind of overshadows the story. But as I got older,
for a lot of people it did.
Yeah, but as you get older, actually, that's the great thing about The Matrix. As you get older, the action scenes are there and they're always going to be great, but then the story really hits you and you're like, holy fuck, this is insane. Okay. This is a great concept. And this is also a scary concept if it would be true. Because how would you know if you're in a simulation? You wouldn't know.
It's the same thing as how would you know if you're stuck in the dream still?
Well, I know. Where did it get that from?
Fucking, I remember Christopher Nolan talking about he got this idea when he was 5 years old.
And shut the fuck up.
But realistically,
what I'm saying, there's a lot of parallels to the stories of Inception to Matrix. Inception is just
one is
Inception doing it in its own way, which is great. But the reality is, Matrix was ahead of it, did it before it, and
but that's like saying, Wilt Chamberlain was the first guy to slam. I don't know if he was, but he, the first guy who slam dunk a basketball. That guy's better because he was the first guy to slam dunk a fucking basketball.
Well, no, that's different. That's different. That's one part of the game.
No, but you just said because they were the first ones to do it, essentially, that they're better, and that's bullshit.
Okay, that's just another aspect of all the other things I mentioned before that just adds to the whole thing.
Inception story.
God,
It goes, it starts,
it's
and
a good story. Don't get me wrong, it's a good story.
But here's the thing: it has the twist as well that not only does it explain to you this ecosystem within the dream world, then it has the personal story of Leonardo DiCaprio that adds to it, in my opinion. Because when you start off, you're like, is Leonardo DiCaprio a bad guy, a good guy? Like you're kind of like on the fence about him. And then the whole thing with his wife comes in. Then when the reveal comes that he's the reason his wife killed himself, it's like, holy shit. Like I think most people, if anything, the questions I had were, did he kill her or did he not kill her? And he's just lying about it. I didn't realize, it didn't even occur to me that he fucked with her head, and that's how he knows Inception is possible.
I'll agree that I prefer the ending of Inception overall because I like those ambiguous endings and I like that stuff. Like, I mean, I think it looks like the thing's going to topple over. I think he's not dreaming. But I like it, and you can make arguments if it's a dream. It's a great conversation starter with the ending of Inception, which I remember the time when it came out. The online was going crazy with the theories. Is he in a dream? Are all the fucking people that are involved in his team part of his figment of his dream world that he created? All that stuff. It's great. It's great. But besides the ending, I think the Matrix does everything else better. The concept, the setup, the execution of it is just a very. Even though Inception is very digestible, Matrix is even more digestible in a better way.
The Oracle.
Yeah.
Why do they have to meet the Oracle in the Matrix and not in the real world?
She's hiding out in there because they'll kill her in the real world, right?
She has to be plugged in somewhere, right? She has to be plugged in somewhere.
But the Oracle, what is she exactly? There's something. She's not. I don't think she's necessarily plugged in. I think she's a program. She's a program. She's not like an actual person like a person that has plugs or anything like that. I think she's a program within the Matrix or something like that.
This program's supposed to tell the future, and it's in this computer system that they create.
You can't get all the answers.
I'm just saying it just leaves a lot of openings for what the fuck. Explain this, explain that.
Look, somebody in the comments is gonna explain it to you, but probably better.
Okay, I hope they fucking do, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, great, it makes sense now, but still, Inception's fucking better.
Regardless of that, it's still like the Matrix still just has higher concepts that are more interesting, in my opinion, with the whole simulation. What's real, dreams it's a cool concept too. Don't get me wrong. Like I told you from the beginning, it's a very close race, but I think the direction, the visual language of the Matrix is better than the visual language of Inception. It's that simple.
Define visual language.
The shot compositions, the aesthetics, visually, musically, scores, that the acting is pretty much even, but I'm talking about all those other elements.
No, come on. I think the acting's better in Inception. Morpheus was great. Neo,
come on, they're about the same. About the same,
dude.
Don't even say anything bad about Keanu Reeves. It's
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is basically the same guy almost every movie with his demeanor and everything.
What's more quotable, Keanu Reeves in The Matrix or anything in Inception?
Give me a quote from The Matrix right now, Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
That's your quote there. Whoa. He fucking says that shit in fucking Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as well.
No, he says it differently.
Shut the fuck.
Here's another one. Stop trying to hit me. There's a bunch. It's like I know kung fu. I know kung fu. Like just the delivery of Keanu Reeves makes these simple lines iconic. All right. Just like how you say Denzel's laugh. Everybody laughs in movies, but Denzel makes the laugh iconic. So suck on that.
I don't think him saying I know kung fu is iconic.
Okay, everybody fucking educate this guy on if that's an iconic line from The Matrix or not in the comics, please. Fucking back me up here.
I think you have a very low barrier of entry for what's considered iconic. If you're saying kung fu is iconic.
Iconic is just something that works. That's memorable. It's not anything.
You know what line? You know what?
Fucking scratching his asshole, but if it's iconic,
the line from The Matrix that to me is like the best line.
Let me think about it. And I'll give you more.
Okay, give me lines, and I'll tell you which the best. Well, I'll tell you what the best line.
I already gave you two, and you were like, "They're iconic."
And Neo doesn't even deliver the best lines in The Matrix.
Are you gonna say Morpheus?
No, not even Morpheus.
Who? Mouse?
Cypher.
And, oh, here's the other part. Matrix has one of my favorite things in movies when you can watch a scene and yeah, Cypher's fucking yeah, ignorance of bliss, all that shit. Yeah, he's great. But Joey Pants, love Joey Pants. But Matrix has one of my favorite things in a movie. Me and my buddy Namar laugh about this all the time. But it has this is when a movie's great. When you can laugh at the scene, but it still is a good scene. You can simultaneously feel laughter, but also take it serious. And that's in the scene where where Cypher's unplugging everybody, you know, and then Switch after Apox dies or whatever, and then she's like, not like this, not like it. It's fucking disgusting. It's one of the funniest scenes in a movie without trying to be funny, but it still works as a serious moment in a movie. I love
said it.
Like
they weren't trying to be funny though. So the fact that it's funny kind of is like,
it doesn't matter because it works even when they're even as a serious moment, but it also works as something you can laugh at. That's the beauty of moments like that in film. I love shit like that, and to me, I can watch that scene any day, and that's what's great about the Matrix. All right, they have everything. They have everything. They have all the toppings.
It's supposed to be a serious spot, and it's the way it's delivered it makes you laugh. It means they didn't do their job as delivering this.
You know why it works? Because it works for the majority of other people. But then also you can point at it and you can still find the humor in it, and then that works too. It's working on simultaneously at two things, a double entendre, whatever you want to call it.
I doubt when the Wachowskis wrote that, they're like,
it doesn't
this
matter.
Is gonna fucking get a laugh right here. It
sure
wasn't their goal.
I'm sure they weren't, but it doesn't.
You can't even argue because fucking the lies are making you cough and
no, your bullshit's making me cough. But anyways, but look, it doesn't matter. Once you put it out there, it's for the world to do whatever the fuck they want with it. The Wachowskis, they probably weren't thinking that. It doesn't matter. Me and my buddy Namar and other people that I know, we love that scene, and we love it we love that moment. Like not like talking shit on it. We just think it's great. But that's just besides the point. That's not the reason why the Matrix is better than Inception. But that's
what you're trying to do with it.
That's one of the many reasons why the Matrix is better than Inception.
You're bringing it into an argument, into discussion, a debate about
this. I'm giving you the details. I'm breaking it down for you. There's many things that I can break down in the Matrix that I fucking love. The chemistry between the crew, everybody is great. Inception has great chemistry too with their crew, but the Matrix has it already.
Inception gives you a story that they work and do a good job explaining through and through, right? When it comes to what is possible in this world. Whereas the Matrix says anything is possible here that you can believe in. But Inception explains
your mind, yes.
And Inception explains Inception explains how the time works, the differences between the different layers, all that kind of stuff. Whereas they could have done the movie and and left a few things out and would have left people with a lot of questions, but they do such a good job trying to wrap that bow around it that the only real question at the end.
Here's the question. What is more profound to you? Finding out that you're fucking been living your whole life is a lie and that you're actually plugged into a fucking computer somewhere by machines, or that you're in reality, but you could get lost in a dream reality because of this device? And there's only one answer that's correct.
Well, you have to believe that that's the case for that to even matter. Like I have to believe the fact that that we're actually in a machine in a simulation for that to matter.
I'm saying, what's a more profound thing to you experience?
But obviously, if one's like if you go through that one's bigger. But at the same time, it's like just because it's like a profound idea doesn't mean it's like automatically gives it the win.
I think it's part of the reason why it gets win. Also, it's like the Matrix, like the Inception, you can, when you're in a dream, you can, things get altered and stuff like that because of what's happening with the other layer in the dream. Yeah, that's cool and all. But in the Matrix, you can download information. You can fucking be the best MMA fighter or whatever the fuck you want to do.
Then it comes into the real world. It bleeds into the real world where like he comes in, he's like, no, in fucking Matrix, right? They get all the information downloaded into their head.
Yeah. Yeah, so when he goes back in, it's in there ready he could do all these things. It's just an interesting concept of like being able to unlock your brain to another level. I'm not saying the concept's
not interesting. I'm saying to me, visually.
What's another great quote line that I love? Morpheus is like, "You think that's air you're breathing? It's so fucking good." Come on. That's a profound moment in the film when he's training him and all that stuff. Like that's a great like. That's what I'm saying. Like Inception has good lines. It could probably give you some, but I'm like, that's your case, dog. Not me.
But the thing is, you don't even need the lines for Inception. The story's just so good that and it's so well explained and so well put together that you don't need these one-liners because it just works the entire way.
Well, here's the thing: The Matrix has a great story, but then they have all these other things that add.
No, but then the Matrix has holes you can punch into their story.
I mean, you could punch holes in the fucking Inception too. You
give me one right now. Give me an Inception.
How does the device work? How does that shit fucking work?
But that's like okay, but on that one, how do the computers that are in the Matrix work?
That's what you said to me. No. Why can't I throw it back at you?
No. But see, you're talking about stuff that they're not gonna sit there and give you a computer lesson in the movie. It's just like I don't expect the Matrix to explain to me, hey, that computer that Tank's working on, what is that shit running? Windows 95, Windows 98? Like, I don't care about that. But when it comes to
obviously it's Windows 2008.
When it comes to the story actually being told, and then you have questions about well, why is the Oracle? They have to go into the Matrix for the Oracle. Why couldn't they just fucking the sentients kill Neo? While he was still in the thing, there's just too many things that you start questioning as to. It just doesn't.
Here's the other thing that I like more than the Matrix. The exposition's done better in the Matrix than Inception.
Listen, you're saying words I don't understand, so I'm taking it as a sign of disrespect.
The exposition is basically them telling you, the audience, like, this is what's happening in the movie. That's what Ellen Page's character is, which is an audience vehicle telling you. Like,
so
same thing with Neo.
Really? I think you're confusing the movies. I think you're confusing me because you said Ellen Page.
Elliot Page.
See? No. You're talking about the Matrix, but you're talking about Ellen Page in Inception.
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
You said the Matrix does such a good job explaining blah blah blah.
No, I said they both do. The Matrix does a better does exposition better in their movie.
You used Ellen Page as an example.
Because Inception is doing all the exposition. Ellen Page is a freaking avatar for the audience in Inception, okay? To explain the rules of the game. She's the new person on the block. And then the Matrix is Neo, but he's the main character. And it's just works better in the Matrix. They both have exposition, but I feel like the Matrix does it better because you're talking to the person who's the main character in the movie. And in Inception, Leo's the main character. He's telling you, which is Elliot Page's character in Inception, which is the audience, like avatar. So we're getting all the information through Ellen Page, but it works better, in my opinion, in the Matrix because Keanu's the main character. Neo's the main character.
That was a good way of talking your way out of that one. I'll tell you that much.
You conflated. Maybe I was like mumbling my words, or I don't know what I did, but that's what I was saying the whole time, Paul. Look, at the end of the day, obviously you're seeing pretty hell bent on Inception, not conceding that Inception's not as good as the Matrix. And vice versa. Like I said, I gave you the ending. The ending of Inception's better. I give you that. It has great moments, but the action, you can't say that the action's better than the action in Inception is better than the action in Matrix.
Hold on, sorry, we have to set some rules here. I'm not saying that the action,
and I'm not talking about just kung fu or nothing like that.
No, hold on. The fight scenes in Inception are better because they took so much advantage of the slow-mo effects. That's not a real fight scene per se, because it's not like you have Bruce Lee and then
Didn't the Matrix invent a goddamn slow motion technique in the movie with the dodging bullets?
But listen, that's what I'm saying. So you're calling them fight scenes, but we have to specify because you try to be very specific about this.
Action sequences. Let me specify.
Okay.
Any action. I feel like the action sequence overall is better in the Matrix. And if you pick the top action scene in the Matrix with the top action scene in Inception, Matrix, I could give you multiple ones that are better than
I think the Matrix is trying to be an action movie first, where Inception was not trying to be an action movie first.
Well, there is action in it.
A decent amount. But it wasn't trying to rely on that for its thing. It's just part of the concept because they have the defense mechanism. That the what's his name, the actor anyway, the guy from Peaky Blinders. I always forget his name.
Killian
Um,
Murphy. Killian
yeah,
Murphy.
Killian Murphy, right? He's been taught to defend his dreams and all that. So that happens, yes. But the Matrix, they planned on these action sequences to be a major anchor to the movie, which is why they invested and spent so much on this basically groundbreaking,
Yeah, but the
effects.
concept, the ideas of the Matrix are just as good as the action sequences, in my opinion. They match each other.
The overall concept is great,
Just
but the
everything.
delivery was not as clean as it was on
Even when
Inception.
Morpheus says to Neo, like the stuff, the backstory that he gives, that we do get with Zion and all that stuff, and the way what they know, because of what happened to civilization, all that stuff is delivered very well through the Matrix programs that they're teaching him in. It's just great. All right, the whole thing about deja vu is awesome. All that stuff is great. Look, like I said, Inception, great film. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but it owes a
Yes,
lot
you
to the
are.
it owes a lot to the Matrix, and it's that simple.
You know what? Let's just do this really quick right here. Let's just find out.
What are you typing?
Hold on.
This guy. Come on, dude. Like, just tell me. Don't. We're not doing the mystery game here.
I'm just trying to see if Christopher Nolan has ever actually come out and said, I was inspired
No,
by The Matrix.
no, he's not going to say that. He's not going to say that.
Why would he not?
He's because a lot of filmmakers don't try to put other people. There's a lot of filmmakers that don't want to necessarily put other movies in the audience's head for expectation reasons. I feel like, and if he was, he's not going to directly. Actually, Inception started as a horror movie. Did you know that?
I did not know
But then
that.
he's like, "Wow, that's a little too Freddy Krueger, probably," and he's like, "Let me switch it up." But it did start as horror movie concept, and then he switched it to the heist concept. Look, look.
Let's see. It says that he has acknowledged it, but
Yeah, it's impossible for
he
him not
also
to be
used
influenced.
Star Wars and Lord of the Rings as his inspiration.
Get the
So
fuck out of here. Listen, it's impossible not to be like he tries to underplay it, but
well,
it's impossible to be not influenced by the Matrix when you're doing a sci-fi high concept thing that deals with like reality being bent or like the reality not being what it seems. So look, at the end of the day, look, I get it. You're gonna stick with your guns and you're gonna stick with Inception, which is fine. I like Inception. I hate talking, trying to like, put it down, but
because it's a better movie and you're fucking
no,
lying.
because I like it a lot. I really do like it a lot. But The Matrix is more of a profound film, and it's just more of an exhilarating film, in my opinion. And it just, yeah, it just and it was made and it still holds up. Unfortunately,
And
the only
Christopher
thing.
Nolan is smart enough to not try to go back for a second or third on it either.
No, that's the thing that I love about Inception, that it's just a single film. And look, at the end of the day, I don't trip out when people say they prefer Inception over The Matrix. But you're asking
You talk
me,
about
and
you just try to lie
well,
about shit on here, trying to
no, I'm
making
not
shit up.
lying. I'm not.
Raids Against the Machine music makes it better. Shit like that. Come on.
Okay, that's part of the thing that makes it better. Okay, so but at the end of the day, I don't get crazy when someone. I don't think it's so outlandish when someone says I think Inception is better than Matrix. I will disagree, and especially for what we're doing here, I'm going to disagree. And I'm going to give you my points because I don't think it's better. Maybe at a time, maybe sometimes when you watch movies when it's more recent, you get that recency bias. But then when I was rewatching
I'll
Matrix.
tell you right now, I went right back. I went back and I saw them both within the last week.
No, and this year and last year, I've watched them both a decent amount of times, and I'm like, dang, like Matrix. I get more excited to put on Matrix. It just looks so good. It's just so well done. It has a lot of the scenes are so memorable. The iconography of the Matrix is just more potent than Inception, in my opinion. So That's my closing statement. Thank you for the W. About look, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. If you think Inception's better, you think Matrix better, and I'm wrong or Nate's right, or vice versa.
I want to
Let
say
us know
one
what you
thing though.
think.
I just want to say one thing. To me,
Not like this.
so here's
Now,
the
when you
thing.
watch the Matrix
Look,
again, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna see what I'm talking
no,
about.
because I've heard you say that before, and I'm like, this fucking guy is not that funny.
No,
So,
it's funny.
so The Matrix was very, very good, and it did something that a lot of people had never seen before. It's like when Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came
No,
out,
it's
right?
called Crouching fucking Ninja.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god! Did you see that
Well,
motherfucker
that
run?"
is, yeah, they're on the bamboo, fucking
Wait,
dancing and shit.
what came out first? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or The Matrix? You sure
Matrix.
about that?
I'll
I'm just
bet you
trying
my
to.
left nut.
Oh, you're right. It did because Matrix was
Come
'99, right?
on, come on, papas.
Or was boy, it might have been released first, but yeah, who cares? So either way, so the Matrix did that, did
Yeah,
that.
it was. Yeah, it came out first.
The Matrix did that, and yeah, but just because the movie's released first doesn't mean it was made first.
It was
Sometimes.
made first too. Yeah.
So and it was groundbreaking. People hadn't seen it before. So it's like when you see something for the first time, it has a bigger impression on you, right? But doesn't necessarily mean it's better, right?
It's true.
So I think a lot of people give The Matrix a more credit because it's the first time they saw those effects. It was the first time they saw stuff like that. It's the first time they might have been like, holy shit, like when they thought about a story and all that. But again, it doesn't make it better. And I think Inception gives you, that similar, oh shit, that's crazy. It has great visual effects. But I think that to me, what sets it apart is, again, that story is put together a lot better.
Yeah, it's more psychological. It's a good story. I'm not hating on the story, but look, I'll say this um, about the Matrix. One thing that I feel like, look, I used to be like an Inception. I used to think Inception was better. Not until the last 2 years is when I switched, and I was like, actually, the Matrix, I think is better.
It was after you hit your head that one time, right?
No, no. For the longest time, I was leaning. I would give Inception the edge for a good while, and then within the last 2 years, after watching them, I'm like, I just the Matrix, dude. It has that Rob Zombie fucking banger in there.
Stop. Yeah, God. But let me ask you.
Also, one thing, Inception.
Also, just to correct you,
Inception should have been rated R too. That bugs me that it wasn't, because then you get some of these shots and they kind of like, come on, let me see some of that blood.
That's even more amazing. The fact that it's a better movie and it was PG-13. It was hamstrung by a PG-13 rating.
Okay, first of all, it's not better, but yeah, it could have.
Okay, and here's the thing. Okay, let me ask you this.
I'm not saying like it needs to be cussing or nothing like that, but like when they shoot, I want, let me get some blood out of it. Come on, dude. Like,
and then let me ask you this, okay? Who's made better movies overall? Christopher Nolan or the Wachowskis?
Are we talking about their careers, or are we talking about one movie?
Hold on. I'm asking who's made better.
Christopher Nolan. But the Wachowskis, their good ones are really good.
Okay? Name them. Besides The Matrix.
Okay. The Matrix. Bound, their first film, Bound, is one of my favorite neo-noir films. It's so good. Lesbian noir with Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershaw.
Yes, but I'm saying that was their second film, right? They made the first one was called Assassins.
No, they wrote that. They didn't direct Assassins. They only wrote Assassins, okay? So fucking try to correct me again. So the first one they directed.
I look at it, and the only thing they have in there that I'm like, okay, is fucking The Matrix.
And Cloud Atlas is a fucking great movie. Is a great movie. Speed Racer, I need to give it another rewatch. It's been too long since I've seen it. And I haven't seen Jupiter Ascending because that didn't look great to me necessarily. I do want to watch it though. But Cloud Atlas, and Matrix and Bound, those are legitimately great films. There's things that I like about Matrix 2, but overall it doesn't hit.
Okay.
And Matrix, same thing with Matrix 3. And then the Matrix 4 is fucking trash. If they would have directed V for Vendetta, that'd be another one. They only wrote that one, unfortunately.
So,
but yeah.
Christopher Nolan did Batman
Christopher
Begins,
Nolan
right?
is
Hold
Christopher
on, hold on.
Nolan has a better overall career. That's what I agree with you on that.
Okay.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
But
But that, but
this
the
is
fact that
Face
he did,
Off.
hold on, hold
This
on, hold
is
on.
Face Off. Matrix versus Inception, not Christopher Nolan versus the Wachowskis. Okay, so get that straight.
But I'm saying, like, look who could, like, it's like, if you're looking at it, it's Christopher Nolan just puts a better story together. That's what I'm saying. The Matrix was put
That's
together, and it's
that's
a
what
good
you
concept.
pause for to
It's a
just
good
tell me something.
concept, but there's the holes in there, and that, like, the fact that they can't deliver overall,
Oh
like,
my
anything
god,
else, like, just proves it that there's
the
holes
holes.
in the Matrix. There's holes in the Matrix they
Listen.
probably didn't think of because Christopher Nolan kind of goes through the whole process. But okay, sorry. Just on a side note, remember the movie Batman Forever?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you like it?
I like it, but it's not a great movie. But I
Okay,
like it.
but remember the Technicolor Ride in My Love Machine, baby, by
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell? That
Yeah.
is the equivalent of that shit, not like this that you're telling me. Okay? Like, it'd be like if I said that movie's great because he delivers that hilarious line in there.
Okay, first of all, I didn't fucking say the line that my whole like feeling about the Matrix relies on that fucking line. Okay. And don't even forget hey, did you forget the other great thing about the Matrix when Neo kicks the agent at the end and his legs like standing up and then he like brings it down all? That's another.
You think that is
That's
a good
another
thing
great
is a
one.
problem. That's so ridiculous.
That is.
When
Look,
I see that, when I
listen,
saw, okay, no, hold on. When I saw that,
listen.
I'm like,
Well,
why do
if
you do that?
laugh,
He just
isn't
made it
laughing
dumb.
good? Isn't laughing
But
good?
it's the point is not to
Isn't
make you
laughing
laugh.
good? Isn't laughing good?
The
God
point
damn,
is,
dude.
the point is not to
Laughing is
make
the
you laugh.
greatest thing in the world. It doesn't matter. It makes you laugh and it doesn't make me hate the movie because of it. That's a great fucking thing that happens. It's beautiful. Yeah, let me go around my Loma Chew baby's great. Yeah, I love that one.
All right.
But yeah, dude.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
let's end it. Let's put this to bed because I'm getting tired of fucking spanking you all night. All right. Look, all right, look. Nathan thinks Inception's better. I think Matrix. None of us were able to sway each other.
I don't.
Even though I got him a little bit. I got him
on.
a little bit in that whole Elliot Page moment. You saw him.
No,
You should put up.
dude,
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Listen. In that moment, you should put up like the fucking Matrix and zoom in on your face.
Dude, hold on. Stop. I have to touch on that. No. No. Okay. Listen.
Or you can do the Hangover where Zach Galifianakis is like thinking of the numbers.
Look, I'm gonna tell you.
Just zoom in on your face with all the numbers.
No.
Please do that. That'd be great for the edit.
Look, this is what happened, okay? You started talking about the Matrix. You made it seem like you were going to talk about the Matrix and how great the Matrix did that with Neo and all that. And all of a sudden you said Ellen Page, and I'm like, why are you talking about Inception?
Look,
I'm like, obviously, because in your mind you think it's a better movie, that you felt you had to lead with that, and then you just try to recover. And that was it.
You must have like zoned out because I said Inception and Matrix both have exposition, and Matrix does it better. And then
you said the Matrix.
Matrix and Inception both. Well, you can run the tape and you can see what I said.
It might magically get lost if that's what you said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But whatever. Listen, or whatever, guys. Just tell us.
And then I quoted your favorite romantic comedy of all time.
What?
I quoted your favorite romantic comedy of all time, and I didn't get any credit for that.
What'd you say?
When I said, I don't know what those words mean, so I'm gonna take them as a sign of disrespect.
Oh, fucking Kevin Hart. Yeah, I know. I got it. I just didn't want to give you the props.
All right, that's it. I'm fucking. It's hot. I'm hot as shit right now. Like I just.
All right, subscribe. Okay, everybody, hold on. Everybody, fucking like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments, and yeah, we'll be coming back with more videos and more content soon. So yeah, just Matrix better then.